We'll be talking a little bit about displacement. And we're going to do just a little bit of warm-up from what we've been doing. The first one says Madison has a cylindrical candle mold with a radius of 4.6 centimeters. Okay, so cylindrical is talking about a cylinder. And it has a radius of 4.6 centimeters and a height of 8.2 centimeters. If Madison has a rectangular block of wax, and that measures a 50 by 30 by 20, how many candles can she make after melting the block of wax? So what we're talking about really is volume. Volume for a cylinder is area of the base times the height. This would be pi r squared times the height. I know that my radius is 4.6 and my height is 8.2 centimeters. On the other end, I have a prism, and I know that my volume formula is going to be area of the base times the height. Doesn't really matter which one I use because it's a block, and we're talking volume, so it doesn't matter which way. So that would be 50 times 30 times 20. So pi 4.6 squared times 8.2 leaves us with 545.1 centimeters cubed. 50 times 30 times 20 gives us 30,000 centimeters cubed. So it's asking us, after melting the block of wax, how many candles can she make? Well, if I have wax that's 30,000, and each candle is 545.10, that means that I can make 55 candles. Okay, I'm going to give you a second just to work on the second one here. All right, it says it has a water tank that is used to store water for livestock in the shape of a cylinder. And it has a diameter of 5 feet and a height of 6 feet. The tank has sprung a leak. It is leaking at a rate of 0.75 feet cubed for every 1 hour. Right? And what this says right here. If the tank is full, how long should it take for the tank to empty? So, if it's full, we're talking volume, area of the base times the height. This will be pi r squared times h. It's all in feet, so we're good. So that means that my radius is going to be what? 2.5. And my height is 6. That should give me 117.81 feet cubed. But it's asking for how long. So we're talking about the time. So if this is what I have, 117.81 feet cubed. Put it over 1, because any number over 1 is the same number. And I want how long. I want the hour. So I'm going to put 1 hour on top. I'm going to put 0.75 feet cubed on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is multiply straight across. Well, that really gives me 117.81 divided by 0.75. Here, the feet cubed cancels, so this would be hours. So 117.81 divided by 0.75 means it would take 157 hours to drain. All right, well, sometimes the shapes aren't as clearly cut as the shapes like a cylinder or a cone or a sphere. Some of the times the shapes are ugly like rocks. And if that's the case, you can't really apply one of them. So what they do is they use something called displacement. And it just says that we're going to fill a glass, and then I'm going to drop something in it, and I'm going to add like a scoop of ice cream. The volume that overflows. So if the cup is full, the amount of liquid that overflows is the volume of the ice cream. Okay, that's called displacement, meaning that when I put something in, whatever won't fit because of the amount that I put in, that's the volume of that shape. So, if I have a rectangular prism before, and it's 10 by 15, and then I put a 10 by 15, and this right here is showing you that the water rose 2 centimeters. Just like if you put a piece of ice inside of a drink, doesn't the water rise up? Okay? Then we have to go and calculate how big is that rock. Well, the rock is equal to the amount of the water rise. So if I did volume equals area of the base times the height, my base is still a rectangle, so it's going to be 10 times 15. The question is the height. Do I really care about the height of all of this? No, it's already there without the rock. All I really care about is the height that it raised. So that would be times 2. So this would be 150 times 2, which means that the volume of the rock is 300 centimeters cubed. So I don't care about the height here. I just want how much did it rise. So if a clump of metal is dropped into a cylindrical container, right, causing the water to rise 1.1 centimeters, the radius of the base of the container is 3.0 centimeters. What's the volume of the metal? So again, volume equals area of the base times the height, because that's the shape, it's a cylinder. My area of my base is pi r squared. My radius is going to be 3. The height, I don't want the height of the cylinder, I want the height by how it changed is 1.1. So pi 3 squared times 1.1 leaves me with 31.10, and that would be what, centimeters cubed. That is the volume of the clump of metal. Okay, on the next page, I want you to practice. I want you to try number 1 and number 2, and I'll come back in just a second. So if you can pause the video for them, give them a second to do number 1 and number 2. Okay, so number 1, a rock is added to a container of water. It raises the water 3 centimeters. If the container is a rectangular prism, that means the formula for volume is area of the base times the height. It does tell me that the rectangle, the area at the base is a rectangle. That means that's going to be length times width. It tells me the base measures 15 by 15, so that's why I put the 15s here. It raised the water level by 3, so that's my height. And that would mean that my volume of the rock is 675 centimeters cubed. That's a 3. Okay, on the next one it says a solid glass ball is dropped into a cylinder with a radius of 6 centimeters. It raises the water level 1 centimeter. Okay, what's the volume of the glass ball? I don't have to have any information about that glass ball as long as I know how far the water level rose. So it's a cylinder because it told us. So we did volume equals area of the base times the height. The area of the base is pi r squared times the height. The radius is 6. So my answer here should be 113.1 centimeters cubed. Down here, number 3, it says in figure number 1, a cylinder with a diameter of 12 centimeters is filled with water to a height of 8 centimeters. And figure number 2, a rock is submerged in the cylinder. What's the volume of the rock? Well, first off, I see that I have a cylinder. So volume equals area of the base times the height. The shape of my base is a circle. So that's going to be pi r squared times my height, right? My radius is going to be 6, because my diameter is 12, so my radius is 6. Now, what height do I need? Do I need 8, or do I need 10.5? And the answer is, I don't need either. I need the difference. How much did it rise? So I'm going to say 10.5 minus the 8, which would give us 2.5. That's the height that I'm gonna wanna use, because the difference between the water, how high did it get to, was 10.5. So this is 2.5 right here. So this is pi 6 squared times 2.5, which will give me a volume of 282.74 centimeters cubed. Okay, good luck today. Make sure you get your projects worked on Monday by midnight.